Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. So this episode is kind of a little project put together, I guess, by me and my husband, Mr. Young. We were talking about, well, I should start. I knew what I wanted to do for my bonus episode that I do on Sundays. And we were talking about, for us, the queer representation or LGBTQ plus representation in family shows. We watch a lot of stuff with our kids and we want to, make sure they get media that I guess also represents our beliefs, if that makes sense. And we started just talking about family shows that we watch that have LGBTQ plus representation and what that means, for us, for our family, and what are those shows? How well do they present this? So I was trying to rate everything and be like, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this, but this isn't a rating. This is just a bonus episode. I don't have to do that. I could just talk about stuff. So the first one we talked about was The Bravest Knight. It's a show that's on Hulu now. My husband actually does not watch this one. I am the one who watches it with the kids because I found it on Hulu. I love this show. I actually knew about The Bravest Knight Who Ever Lived, the book, because I saw a video about it on YouTube. If I can find it, I will post it, but it was a video where someone was actually reading the book live, and I was like, wow, this is really cute. And when I found out it was now a cartoon, I was really excited, actually. I was like, wow, it's a cartoon now? Oh my gosh. So that is something I definitely play. The queer representation in that, or the LGBTQ plus representation in that, are the two fathers, the knight and the prince or king. I don't know if he's a king or a prince because I don't know. We're only on season 1. But it mostly follows their daughter. Well, sort of. It's between their daughter and the father that's a knight, where the daughter, she is a not yet knight. One day she wants to be a knight. So her father is telling her the stories of when he was a kid and he was a not yet knight and all the things he had to do and all the lessons he learned. And I really love it. If you haven't read The Bravest Knight Who Ever Lived, definitely check it out. And definitely check out The Bravest Knight on Hulu as well. 100% recommend. Okay. The next one is The Dragon Prince. This one is a Netflix original series. Now, my husband and I both agree that this one is our favorite. We actually watch this straight through. Whenever a new season comes out, we sit down and we just watch every single episode. We don't need kids with us to watch every single episode. We will just watch it. We don't care. We love this show. And one of the things we talked about was the fact that in this show, it's just part of the culture, a part of the society. There's no big reveal of, oh, and this person's gay. It's just so embedded in the culture that the Dragon Prince represents that it's not a big deal. None of it is a big deal, and we really like that. Now, the one thing that we both disagree on is General Amaya and Janai, the sun elf. I felt like at the end they were in a relationship, because for me, I was watching it and going, I don't care who Amaya gets with. She could get with her interpreter or the sun elf. Either way, I'm good. I love them both. Because she and her interpreter just have this deep love for each other and this care for each other and this respect for each other, and it's beautiful. And Janai is hot. And oh my gosh. So at the end they were holding hands, and I was like, for me, I was like, that means they're in a relationship. He's like, I saw it more like they had a friendly rivalry and now they're friends and they're just showing this dragon queen, see, we're all friends now. And I'm like, no, they're together now. And he's just like, honey, holding hands does not equate to having sex. And I was like, That is the best statement ever. I can use that to describe so many BLs. Thank you. So holding hands does not equate to having sex. But oh my gosh, the Dragon Prince, General Amaya, and Janai, I say they're together. I also love that we saw the introduction of the two queens, and we got to see their story, even if it was the story of their death. Oh gosh, Runan and Ethari. Oh gosh, I hope I said their names right. But finding out that, I know I can't remember her name, and I had anyway, finding out that the main elf girl that we follow, she was raised by, because of what happened with her parents, she was raised by a same-sex couple, and it wasn't like a big thing. It was just, yeah, they took me in and they raised me. And it was just like, okay. So that's what we both loved about it. It was just a part of society. No one had to like shine a light on it. It was just, yeah, gay people exist. Moving on. Like, it was awesome. So the next one, I actually didn't watch all the episodes. I've only seen episodes here and there. So I actually did not know about the representation in this show. But my husband, on the other hand, is a huge fan. Okay? He will sit in his room. Well, not in his room, in his office. And just watch this show. Because he knows, it's not that I hate it. Like, if he puts it on, I'll sit and watch it with him. But I'm going to ask a lot of questions because I don't actually watch it. It's She-Ra. She-Ra season 5 just came out, so I think it just wrapped up fully. But he was telling me about basically the relationships that were on there. What's his name? Bo. He has same-sex parents with dads, and then I don't remember the name of the two princesses. He told me the names, and I was supposed to write them down, and I don't think I ever did. Yeah, and then big spoiler alert, because I guess I already gave out a spoiler for the Dragon Prince, but big spoiler alert, season 5, Adora and Catra, and basically them getting together. But one thing he told me about that one, when he was watching it, he felt like the relationship was very toxic, because if you're going by everything they're saying in the last season, well, let's go back to the first season and watch it and go through. He felt like basically this is a relationship with two people who are so obsessed with each other, and maybe they shouldn't be together because they are just so obsessed with each other, and that's not necessarily healthy. And another thing he was talking about was the fact that Adora, for him, he thought she was just asexual because she never showed any attraction to anyone. So he was like, okay, asexual. So in the end, it was like, oh, she's into Catra as well. Okay. And it felt kind of like, we're gonna die, kiss me. And like, he said for him, it's just so thrown in the end. You didn't get to watch like a growth of a relationship or anything. It was just, kiss me. And that's it. But definitely, I know he would definitely recommend it. He really likes She-Ra. I don't get it. I guess I just never watched He-Man and She-Ra a lot growing up. They weren't my shows, so that's why. I was too busy watching cooler things. So the next show, this is definitely, I would say, I think it's my husband's favorite show, but when we talk about the representation, we actually counted it second. And this is a lot of people love this show. If you don't love this show, I don't know why, because I love this show. Even though I haven't seen every single episode, when I do watch an episode, I love it. Our kids love it too. So even though they are genderless, it is Steven Universe. Yes, they're genderless. We have, Garnet, of course. Ruby and Sapphire gets married. In Steven Universe, it's mainly the gems, but I didn't actually know this because I don't watch it all the way through. It's for me, it's an episode is on, I'll watch. An episode is on, I'll watch. But then he told me about Sadie dating someone who was non-binary. So like that kind of representation is in there, and we really love Steven Universe. It's just a great show. The music is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm done. So next show. So I was debating whether to put this one on the list. Watch Steven Universe if you haven't. Even if you watch it like me, where you just watch an episode when it's on, just watch Steven Universe. So the next show, I wasn't sure to put it on the list or not because I don't know if it fully counts, and I'm going to explain why. So, Adventure Time. Come on, tell your friends. Or come on, grab your friends. Jake the dog and Finn the human, fun that never ends, it's Adventure Time. Anyway, so in Adventure Time, we have Marceline and Bubblegum, which everybody had been shipping them from, like, season 1. I was shipping them. Oh my gosh, I was shipping them, definitely. I was shipping every version of them. Like, I was guilty of it too. And then in the, like, final episode, they kiss. And it's like, oh yeah, it's canon. But this is why I was like, do I put it in or not? Because for us, when we were talking about it, we were like, was it originally going to be that way? Or because the fans were saying, hey, you know who looked good together? That they just gave the fans what they wanted in the end. That's where we're like, does it count? Like, it counts, but does it truly count? Like, how much does it count? Like, it counts. It definitely counts. But does it count to be on this list to be like, hey, they have representation? Because we don't see that until the very end. So that's where we're like, Kind of like the same way we felt about She-Ra, but except for the fact that She-Ra actually had bits and dropped bits and stuff throughout different seasons. So that was the difference. But yeah. With Adventure Time, was like, okay. But we still love the show. It's an amazing show. Love that show. So definitely watch. I watch. This show, the next show. Okay, so if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know which show I'm going to talk about next. Now, this one doesn't have as huge of a fan following because people felt like it didn't have as much as Avatar: The Last Airbender had, but it's Legend of Korra. Now, for me, the last season of Legend of Korra is really what I'm focusing on, but if you put all of it together, he made them gay. That's a running joke in our house. Like, he turned them gay. How bad was he in a relationship? Oh my god. My boy. How bad of a boyfriend you have to be that not only do both of your girlfriends decide they're going to start seeing girls, they start seeing each other. They're just like, this is better than that. Mostly joking. But yeah, you know, we see Korra's relationship with him, then Asami's relationship with him, and then in the third season, we see, you know, both now Asami and Korra are single, but we also kind of see them growing together, and Asami being there for Korra because Korra has just gone through something traumatic for her, and, you know, them, like, working, like, everything they're going through together, and then, so, I didn't watch the original episode when it came out. I like to wait for the DVD so I can just sit down and I just want to watch the whole thing. I don't want to have to wait for episodes. All that happened is I came in and I saw my husband, like, tapping his legs and clapping his hands. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I can't tell you. Because spoiler alert. So I finally get the DVD and he finally gets the DVD and he comes running in and he's like, watch, sit down, watch now. And I had to sit through the whole season in one sitting. He was like, no, we're watching, finishing it. And I get to the last episode, and it happens. I'm like, oh my god. He's like, yeah. And we're both so excited. I think he's a secret Girls Love follower. He just hasn't told me about it. But, oh my god. Korra and Asami. I was so happy. I was so happy because we actually saw the growth of their relationship to get to that point. It wasn't just thrown in your face. Like, it wasn't in a way where all of a sudden they kiss in the end. You're like, wait, when did that happen? When did anyone else see this? Like, oh god. We're not talking about that show. But yeah, it's like, when did that happen? How did that happen? When did this come about? But, oh my gosh, I loved it. Like, watch all of Legend of Korra, especially if you're Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. Definitely watch Legend of Korra. But that last season, man, oh my gosh, I loved it. Oh wait, I'm only talking about their relationship when I say I loved it. I have some problems with Legend of Korra here and there with different things that they do. My husband and I talk about it a lot, about how Korra's strength just seems to come and go. that's a whole different story. We're talking about the storyline. And I noticed I'm talking about a lot of lesbian storylines. I said I love love. Love is love. Next one. Now, this one, I'm kind of upset with Disney about, because last time I checked Disney Plus, all the episodes weren't available, and I just think that's wrong. It's a great little family show called Andy Mack. Now, on Andy Mack, she has a best friend named Cyrus, who comes out to, well, he doesn't come out to Andy first. He only comes out to Andy because they both like the same guy, and that guy is like ridiculous and hurts both their heads. But with Cyrus, I don't think he says the words "I'm gay" until like season 3 or was it like season 2? No, I think it was like season 3 was when he actually said gay. I think before that they were introducing a character that likes boys, but they didn't want to do it, a male character that likes boys, but they didn't want to do it right out there. So it's just like in a way where he's saying he likes this guy, and you're going, yeah, no, I like him. And then of course he's like, I like him too, like it. But then finally when he's talking to what's his face, Asher Angel's character, the kid from Shazam, talking to his character, and he's like, oh, don't eat that, that's just a bagel, and I'm gay. I thought that, like, to me, that was the perfect coming out scene, and the writer who wrote it, I think said that it was basically, he was using his own was it their coming out scene? They were using a coming out situation from their own personal life to do that. Like, yeah, that I'm gay. And what I also loved was Cyrus and TJ, because we see their friendship growing, and everyone of course was Tyrus. But of course we don't see that there might be a relationship between them until the end, and because it's Disney, you know, they're trying to keep it, of course, very safe. If they were going to go all out, they would have put it on Freeform. So, of course, they have to keep it very safe, because they don't want to anger Middle America. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think it's a great show. Andy Mack is a pretty good family show. Even with Pops in it. I love how they explain his disappearance. Oh, he just went back on another journey. Journey to prison. Oh, that guy's horrible. Next show. Okay, so for me, this one was the greatest thing ever because I love this sitcom. It's a great family sitcom. I actually used to sit down with my parents and my sisters, and like we'd all just sit down as an entire family. Everybody actually would come in and sit down and we just watch this together. Good Luck Charlie was just so entertaining. It's a great family show, and for one episode, the reason why it's on this list, for one episode, there was a Who's on First situation. If you don't know what the Who's on First situation is, just look up Who's on First. You'll find it online. Or if you're an Animaniacs fan, just look up Slappy Squirrel Who's on Stage. It's the same thing. It's the same joke. But it was a Who's on First situation where they're both going, no, the mom's name is this, the mom's name is that. Oh, she has two moms. And they were trying to figure out who hangs out with who, like which mom is the dad. Like, because they're used to a situation where it's a mom and a dad, and the dads go off and do their thing and the moms go off and do their thing. But it's like, it's two moms. Which one of them do I take? That was kind of like, oh God. And then them switching, like, I want your mom. Your mom's cool. Like them switching the moms they hang out with and all that stuff. But I loved it as well because the parents handled it well because they realized, oh, we messed up. We knew two different moms. That's why we just didn't know. Not a big deal. And they moved on from it. That was like the only mention of there being two moms, and then it just became wait, which one do I take? And then that was kind of it. And Charlie got to have fun with her friend. So if you haven't seen Good Luck Charlie, I think every single episode is on Disney Plus. If you check it out on Disney Plus. Next on the list. Okay, so remember what I said about Adventure Time? Like all of a sudden in the last part, we're like, oh, so they are a couple, yay! Who remembers the movie Paranorman? So my husband and I have a little, we view this one a little bit differently. Because in the end, there's an audience reveal where we find out, if you haven't seen Paranorman yet, I'm sorry. Watch it already. But in the end, we find out that Mitch is this big jock dude. He's the older brother of Norman's best friend. Only friend. He's like very masculine, very macho, plays football, all that stuff. Norman's older sister has a crush on him. And in the end, when Norman's sister is going, so maybe we can hang out, go watch a movie or something, or go to the mall, and Mitch just goes, yeah, my boyfriend is into that stuff. I'll introduce you to him. Like so this is where we differ on everything. So my husband saw that as like an old sitcom joke, like, oh no, honey, I'm gay. Like, it was just supposed to be like a big joke in the end. That's how he saw it. I saw it differently. I saw it as from the beginning, we're introduced to Mitch as, again, this really masculine guy. He's a football player. Through it, we see, oh gosh, what's that girl's name? Anyway, she's like all over Mitch, trying to like hit on him, even like when ghosts are attacking them. And, you know, we see him as just Mitch the whole time. Like, we see him as, you know, Mitch. Then, in the end, it's revealed, oh, he has a boyfriend. I saw that as them really just showing, look, see, he's just a human. It's just Mitch. In the end, what has changed about him? Nothing. The only thing is we learned some new information about him. So that's why I saw it different. And I liked the representation of Mitch in there. My husband was on the fence of the representation of Mitch. The fact that it was just like, for him, this throwaway line in the end. And it was just, oh no, I'm gay. And it was more of a joke. Versus me seeing it as he's just a regular guy throughout this whole show, a whole movie. And then in the end, we just get some new information. So that's where we differ. But we both agree Paranorman is an amazing movie. We love that movie. Definitely watch that movie. It's from 2012. But it's a stop motion animation. If you don't know about it, now you know. Go watch it. The next one. This is where we differ a little bit again. Okay? So, if you haven't seen Onward, it's available on Disney Plus, and it's available on Amazon Prime still, I think, for purchase, but it's available on Disney Plus if you have a Disney Plus subscription. Now, in it, it's just one scene, don't worry, but there's a scene where, should I even reveal what the creature is? I don't want to reveal any of the scene, because this one I definitely don't want to spoil anything for, but it's a woman who just says, yeah, she's having some issues with her girlfriend's kid. Like, she's, you know, like, bonding with someone. I'm just saying she's having issues with her girlfriend's kid. My husband just saw it as, well, you know, she's just gay, and, yeah, gay people exist in this world. I was like, I understand that, like, it's just gay. Gay people exist in this world. But it's a little bit of pandering as well. Because we didn't necessarily need that line. I mean, it was a good line to have, and I'm glad it was in there. But at the same time, it was just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's kid, da 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 da. Cool. Because we never see her. Do we see her again? Like, it doesn't add anything to the story. Like, I'm going to argue that Paranorman, Mitch's line, adds more to the story because of the fact that the sister has been like hitting on him through the whole time, versus the line in Onward, she just says that and it doesn't do anything for the story. It doesn't push the story along. It's not like we see the girlfriend's kid later on. Do we see the girlfriend's kid later on? I don't. If we do, I don't remember her. Remember them. Like, it's just such a throwaway line for me. That's how I saw it. Sorry, but Onward's a great movie. Go watch it. Oh my gosh, I love Onward. It was so good. I cried so many times. Poor unicorn. I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, So the next one, this is actually the last one on the list, and this is actually the only one on the list I have never seen an episode for. I've only seen half an episode because I walked in while my husband was watching it because he likes this show. No, kids don't like it. So it's called The HULU. So only thing I know about it is like from what I've seen him watching and from something that popped up while I was just like scrolling through Netflix. It's available on Netflix. Mira has 2 dads. How I know that, an ad came up and already showed that she has 2 dads, and she was looking at her dads going, "You're not my parents." So I know she has 2 dads because of that. And there's a kid who is super strength. His name is Adam, and he mentions that he's gay. Now in this, I will say they're good on their queer representation in this, because her having 2 dads is a part of the storyline, because she's looking at her dads going, "You're not my real parents," not because they're not her real parents, but because you have to watch it, like, not because it's like you're not my real parents, it's more like you look like my parents, but I know you're not my real parents because everything else doesn't look right, so I know I'm not home. I know this isn't my home. And Adam revealing that he's gay is like just more because everyone's like, "Ooh, I bet you like this girl," and he's like, "No, I'm gay." and that was it, you know. But one of the things my husband says, because this is all my husband's review on The HULU now, this show isn't romance centric. The storyline is about these kids trying to get out of this game. So this isn't romance centric. This is more action centric, and because of that, it's not going to add to the story or take away from the story. It's just like, okay, like, we learned something new about the characters, move on. We learned something new about the characters, move on. Because that's not what the focus of this particular show is. So that's his review. I have no opinions on The HULU because I haven't actually watched it. But yeah, now I decided to go in with Mr. Young and say, you know, we talked about what do we think of queer representation in our children's media. And I loved what my husband said. He said, "Why would I care? LGBT people exist in life. Why wouldn't they exist in media? Why wouldn't they exist in our cartoons? Why wouldn't they exist in our TV shows?" And I think that right there, that is it. You know, why should we care? Why should we be angry about it? Why get all emotional? You know, people exist in, all different kinds of people exist in our regular life. They're going to exist in our media as well. And, there's so many families out there that have same-gendered parents. Why not? Why not put it out there? There we go. So, what shows do you like to watch with your family that has some LGBT plus representation in them? Something I should add. My husband, when he was watching She-Ra, I don't know if I said this, I mentioned that he thought Adora was just asexual because, he never saw her attracted to anyone throughout the series. But he also just felt like whoever didn't have a romance subplot, he just went, okay, they're asexual, because you never see them interact in any way with anyone that, so for a lot of people, he just felt like, okay, so maybe these people are asexual, this person is straight, this person is gay, this person is lesbian, going based off of the storyline. I thought that was interesting. That actually also speaks to my husband. I think he probably just looks at everyone and assumes everyone is asexual, while I look at everyone and just assume everyone is gay. It makes life easier. Anyway, yeah, let me know if there's any shows that you like to watch with your family, like I said, that have some queer representation in it. What about these shows? Is there any that you really love? Is there any points you think I missed on with these shows? Are there any that you're getting ready to watch? Let me know. Follow me on Instagram. Let me know. So thank you guys so much for listening to this Sunday's bonus episode. I hope you can have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.